I told you that you could make thousands of dollars a month from Airbnb without actually owning a single piece of real estate? You've probably seen the ads, Sean Lyer and Ari Persick promising that their 10BNB system is the ultimate shortcut to a laptop lifestyle. No mortgages, no property taxes, just pure profit. But is it actually that simple? Or are you just funding their next vacation?
What is 10xBnB? It's an Airbnb mentorship program that teaches you how to make money on Airbnb. Now, here's the craziest part. Without having to own any property, without having to rent any property, without needing to buy any furniture, and here's the crazier part, without needing to spend a single penny on a property. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds like BS. It sounds too good to be true. But here's the thing. It's 100% legit, and it really does work. So how the heck is that possible? Well, it's possible through a new method called Airbnb co-listing. Now, with co-listing, you manage properties for property owners on Airbnb, and you take a cut of the earnings. That's typically 20 to 25% of the money generated. You know what? I've got an idea. It might be easier if I just showed you how co-listing works instead of just telling you how it works. To prove to you that I'm not making all this stuff up, let me walk you through a real life example. This right here is John. He's a student in the TechSpeed program, and he lives in Vancouver, British Columbia. He's got a full-time job, and he wanted to make money on Airbnb as a side hustle. Now, after learning the co-listing system, he's already landed, this is pretty nuts, 4 Airbnb listings that he doesn't own and doesn't rent. Now, you can see the listings on the screen before you. Now, here's the thing. He hasn't spent a single penny on any of these properties, and he's already generated $50,000 in bookings in just the last 3 months.
Today, we are doing a deep dive review of 10 times BNB in 2026. We're looking at the cost, the strategy, and the bed office reality of running a rental empire from your pajamas. So let's get into the truth, honey. What is 10 times BNB actually? You rent an apartment for $1,500. You list it on Airbnb. You make $3,500 and you keep the $2,000 difference. First, let's talk about the business model. 10 times BNB teaches rental arbitrage. And this means you find a landlord, you sign a long-term lease with their permission to sublease, and then you list that property on Airbnb as a short-term rental. They give you the scripts to talk to landlords, the automation tools, and the data to find the most profitable location. In theory, it is brilliant. You are the middleman. You don't need $1 million loan from the bank. But as we know here at Hustle and Grind, the middleman is usually the one doing the most talking. In 2026, 10 times BNB has updated their training to include a lot of AI. The automation, they focus heavily on making this hands-off. They show you how to use automated messaging and smart locks so you aren't running around handing out keys at 2 a.m. One of the biggest hurdles is getting a landlord to say yes. And their scripts are actually quite professional. They teach you how to pitch it at a corporate housing solution, which sounds much better to a landlord than I'm putting random tourists in your building. In the community, you get access to a group of other people doing the same thing. And in this game, knowing which city just banned Airbnb is half the battle. And the community usually has those updates very fast for you because they are going through it right now. Now, the cons, what the ads don't tell you. Let's talk about the hustle part that they gloss over in the ads. The cost. 10 times BNB is not cheap. It's a high-ticket program, often costing several $1,000s. On top of that, you need the startup money as well. So you have to pay the first month's rent, the security deposit, and you have to furnish the whole place. You're looking at $5,000 to $10,000 per unit, depending on how expensive you are before you even get your first guest in there. The regulation trap, in 2026, cities are cracking down. New York, London, and even smaller cities are passing laws against short-term rentals. If your city bans it tomorrow, you are still stuck in that 1-year lease. The passive myth. They call it passive, but let me tell you, if a pipe bursts or a guest has a party, it's your phone that rings. It's a real business, not a magic money button. Okay, so let's go on over here and look at the real reviews B&B has since they've been open until now. All right, so we're going to dive in deep. We're going to Trustpilot first. They do have like a lot of, this is a 4.8 all reviews, but I could tell that most of them are fake reviews. All the 5-star reviews are fake. They probably got somebody from Fiverr or whatever to leave these fake reviews, because who's going to put somebody's whole name up there? Joining Sean Gavami's 10 times mentorship has been an absolute game changer for me. As a new mentee, I'm genuinely impressed by how clear, practical, and step-by-step the program is. Sean doesn't just teach theory. He gives you real systems, real scripts, and real strategies that actually work in today's STR market. So I think that they had ChatGPT write this, okay? And this was January the 20th. They put this here after somebody on January the 4th wrote this review here, this 1-star review. So sprinkled in with this is a few 1-star reviews from these fake reviews they tried to saturate Trustpilot with, because they can do that on Trustpilot. But after this, I'm going to go somewhere where they can't do that. But right now, we're going to delve into this one. So she said, on January the 4th, this month, 2026, my experience, not what was explained on the call. I'm honestly confused how this company maintains such a high rating, because it's fake reviews. During a 45-minute Zoom sales call, I was pressured to sign immediately and was told the program was easy, baby steps, and that I could start recovering payments within the first month. I later learned that my personal information, which I believe was required only for program enrollment, was used to open a third-party credit line totaling $8,399, including a hard inquiry that was never clearly explained. I believed I was dealing directly with 10 times B&B for payment. I only learned about the loan when I tried to cancel about 2 weeks later, after realizing the program requires far more time and technical skills than advertised. After filing a CFPB complaint, the lender closed the loan account and stopped servicing it. 10 times B&B still refused to cancel without keeping a large portion of the money. I strongly recommend reading everything carefully and not signing anything during the first Zoom call. Okay, and the next person, all these are fake. All these are fake. And this was September 12th last year, this was September 12th, about 5-6 months ago. It's actually a follow-up review from when they posted. So it's the same day. I joined 10 times B&B's masterclass with high hopes and strong commitment, but my experience has been extremely disappointing. Before enrolling, I had multiple conversations with the representative and asked very specific questions about whether traveling would be required or affect my chances of success. I was promised repeatedly that traveling would not make a difference, that it would not be an issue, and would not make the business harder. Based on those promises, I invested $5,000 after joining. Engaging in the group and meeting with the coach, I was told the opposite, that while not technically impossible, it would in fact make it harder for me to succeed without traveling and visiting properties. This directly contradicts the assurances I was given before signing up. I feel misled and tricked into spending thousands of dollars under false assurances. This experience raises serious concerns about how honestly and transparently expectations are being set for new members. Okay, and after that, he left an update the same day. This is an edited review after a long back and forth with multiple 10 times B&B team members and a phone call with the owner. I have edited my original review to ensure the truth is clear. Since posting my review, I have been contacted by multiple people from 10 times B&B, including a call with the owner. While I appreciate the effort, the communication has mostly felt like an attempt to persuade me that my concerns were invalid rather than to take full accountability. I was given different information before enrolling than I was told afterward, and that contradiction is at the heart of why I wrote my review. Instead of acknowledging that plainly, the responses I received leaned on policies, conditions, and offers of upgrades or boot camps, which only reinforced the feeling that accountability was missing. For me, this has always been about honesty and transparency. My reviews reflect what actually happened, and I believe it's important to leave them as they are. What I had hoped to see was a clear acknowledgement of the contradictions and genuine accountability, but unfortunately that never fully came through. All right, now we're going to go, let's see, where are we going? Now we're going to go to the BBB complaints and see what's on BBB. This was May 2025, but they was complaining about what happened in 2023. It says, in May 2023, I enrolled in the 10 times BNB masterclass and paid $5,000 before joining. I asked very specific questions about whether traveling would be required or whether not traveling would make the business harder. I was promised repeatedly that traveling would not be required and that it would not make success harder and that I could succeed fully remotely. This was presented as a guarantee, so it looked like they're telling everybody this. Based on those assurances, I invested in the program and spent several thousands of dollars more to set up and run the business, trusting that what I had been told was accurate. After enrolling, I was told by several different coaches that without traveling, it would be extremely difficult to succeed, especially in the beginning. This was the opposite of what I was promised and relied on when I joined. When I raised these concerns at the time, nothing was done to address them, and then I did not hear from the company for a long time. Only after I posted a review on Trustpilot recently did the company begin contacting me again. I received numerous calls, texts, and emails from different people, including a lead coach and a resolution specialist. This sounds like the same person who I just read from Trustpilot. Their communication has not been about taking accountability or offering a refund, but about persuading me to take down my review. They continue to validate my frustration in words while steering me towards solutions such as additional coaching, boot camps, or working with new staff. At one point, they told me that the coach who gave me the contradictory information is no longer with them and that the program's focus has changed. However, this does not fix the dishonesty I experienced when I signed up, nor does it compensate me for the financial loss I suffered because I was misled by promises that were not fully honest and because the company's response has centered on protecting their reputation instead of resolving the issue. I am requesting a full refund of the $5,000 I paid for the program, period. And probably to this day, they still have not gotten their money. Okay, let's go to this one. BBB. On July 7, 2025, I joined a program offered by 10 times BNB after being told the total cost was $9,500. So these prices just change all the time. And that I would make the money back within a month. I was pressured to sign up the same day and paid a $500 deposit. 2 days later, I was contacted by their lender and informed that the actual loan amount was $17,000, an amount I was never made aware of during the consultation. Given the misleading cost and my financial situation, I had recently left my job to care for my sick infant. I immediately canceled the program before it began, told me that 10 times BNB needed to confirm the cancellation and refund the funds to the closed account. I attempted to contact 10 times BNB, including the representative and CEO, but received no response. 10 times BNB refused to cancel my enrollment or refund the funds, despite the fact that I canceled before the program started and never received any services. As a result, I am now being held responsible for a $17,000 loan and threatened with damage to my credit. Okay, so this is true. They do take out loans in your name because the other person said they took out money in her name. So this is saying that they took out a $17,000 loan in their name already. And they're taking the money. I am asking the BBB to help resolve this matter by requesting that 10 times BNB cancel my enrollment, refund the funds to whatever account they had, and release me from any financial obligation related to this program. Now, 10 times BNB, they are really scamming people out here. And it looks like BBB doesn't even do anything to help people. They just use this platform for people to put complaints on. So the BBB, Better Business Bureau, doesn't do anything to help anybody. So let's read what 10 times BNB actually respond to people with. Thank you for sharing your concerns, and we sincerely apologize for any inconvenience or stress this situation may have caused you. We want to clarify that once your message reached our support team, we contacted you within 24 hours to address the issue directly. After reviewing your situation, including the misunderstanding around the loan amount and your personal circumstances, we moved quickly to resolve the matter. As you and our team confirmed during our communication, your enrollment was fully canceled, a full refund was issued, and we worked with the lender to ensure you were released from any remaining financial obligation. We are truly sorry for the frustration you experienced during the initial attempts to reach us. We're grateful, however, that we were able to connect quickly and bring this to a complete resolution together. If you need any additional confirmation documents or have further questions, we're here to help. So I'm hoping that this was true and they did send this person their money back. So that was a good one on their end if they actually did. But this date says 18, which that don't make any sense. So the customer did answer. Looks like the same customer, and it was resolved. As I reviewed the response made by the business in reference to the complaint and found that this resolution is satisfactory to me. So it looks like if you go on BBB, you know what, everybody, they put the same response to everything. I don't know about this either. And look at these dates is weird too. They're changing the date here. Okay, so now let's go to Reddit because they tell the real. I don't know if I can trust B&B anymore with these responses. Reddit, we already know Reddit be in it. All right, so let's see. Somebody asked a question. It says, I'm considering investing in real estate and exploring a few options. I can't afford to go big. I'm looking at more affordable options like rental properties. Even those have gotten pretty expensive. There's this course called 10 times BNB that caught my eye, which teaches co-listing or rental arbitrage. Does anyone have any thoughts on these strategies or the 10 times BNB mentorship program specifically? Arbitrage or subleasing proposed by 10 times BNB guys sound like a much cheaper alternative to purchasing or owning a property, thus reducing risk. I can at least validate the idea, then invest in my own if it works. Somebody said the whole idea is BS. If you can rent a property and then list it on Airbnb, why can't the owners of the property do the same thing? Or actually hire a property management company to manage the property for them. More critically, why would you pay money to some pyramid scheme training company to teach you how to do this? And why would you participate in a membership program to get the information? On a dollar per dollar basis, this adds cost to your business model. It is stupid, and I would recommend steering very clear. Agreed. I'm a few months into the program. This was 10 months ago, and it was edited 4 months ago. Agreed. I'm a few months into the program and tried to get a refund since month 1. A lot of slick talk in the modules to get you to subscribe to tools they never mentioned you needed. Included web hosting, $97 monthly. AirDNA and BNBIQ analyzer is $99 monthly. A bunch of slick talkers that went to college for finance. Same strategy as the Brandon Carter's online fitness training that charges $10,000. Somebody say, have you gotten a refund? I am in the same process. I would appreciate it if you can let me know the update. Thank you. This was 2 months ago. I'm pretty sure all of these responses are fake, and I just had a call and they just tried to hard sell me on $6,000 program. She got mad when I questioned it. I wouldn't trust them. All of their coaches are in their example videos and have sketchy testimonials. Don't ever join the program. I just requested the refund. I joined since October 2024, and it is so difficult to get good coaching. Super slow response and very hard to work with. Hey, are you talking about 10 times B&B program? I'm thinking about joining. Yes, you are right. At the beginning, they pushed me every single day. Sent SMS. After I joined for 90 days, the trainer started to be idle. Very difficult to discuss with. Trust me, very frustrating. At last, I called the bank to dispute. Did you receive a refund? Laugh out loud. Doubt it. At least he tried. You join and see what happens. Don't join them. They just give you false commitment. Not fulfilling single also won't give you refund. Right. I tried but failed with a lawyer. They get you trapped in a three-way loan with a third party with high interest rates. $5,000 but $7,000 with interest for something we could have learned on our own within an hour. But he stretches the modules out unnecessarily to give the illusion of high value. I would agree that the responses are phony. I was going to listen to their sales pitch, but decided against it, watching his introduction clip. One example he showed was a property in LA. He ran it through his program, and it came up with an average rate of $477, far more money than what properties are listed on VRBQ. It seems questionable to me. I did not join because they want you to pay $7,000 first day for you to access the material. Now, this prices keep going up. And this was 6 months ago. First, somebody said $5,000. Then somebody said $6,000. Then $7,000. So it's not a set price. It just depends on, like, if you call, it just depends on, they're going to ask you, well, how much can you afford? So if you say you can afford $10,000 to put down, then they're going to tell you a different price from what somebody else said they can afford. So it's a little scammy there. But she said, I did not join because they want you to pay $7,000 first day for you to access the material. They want to earn your business in 1 hour meeting. And after that 1 hour meeting, you need to pay $7,000 to continue. I thought they would have a subscription model where they can earn your business every month, but they don't have such. So be careful. Once you pay $7,000, there is no way back. No cancellation of any sort. I had a call today with them. They are offering a scholarship of $4,000 off the price. So it could cost me $5,000. They told me to put a $50 deposit to hold that scholarship, right? I did. But I don't think I'm going to go ahead right now, as I already have buy and hold investments. And I was looking at this as well as a way to be more mobile. But yeah, I don't think it's going to work. They'll try anything to get you in the door, for real. Anything. I'm going to read this last one because it makes sense to me. By serious sources 8 months ago. I don't see why anyone would need to pay $6,000 for a program. And why would it take months to learn this stuff? Isn't the whole point of paying for something to cut down on the time of the learning curve? To me, that's the biggest red flag alert. You're not going to accredited college or getting a contractor's license or realtor license to charge those kind of fees and time where you are learning such in-depth hard skills that merit that kind of time and money. These things can be learned in a week or a few weeks tops. It's not brain surgery. If the value that you get is that they can help you understand rental market areas, local zoning laws, and offer some automation programs all in one place, sure. But is that worth $6,000? Not to me. You would need that money to get an apartment as a sublease in most desirable areas. Manhattan, closer to $10,000 to $12,000 up front. So instead of giving it to the landlord, you're giving it to the 10 times guy. Honestly, rental arbitrage is not that hard. Now, if you can get a landlord to agree to a co-hosting, because that is what you would be doing, where they get half the money from the bookings, otherwise, why would the landlord do it? Landlord wants either the rent from you or 50% of the booking sales. And if the landlord continues to pay for the utilities and the place is already furnished and you are not subleasing it from the landlord but co-hosting with them, that would be a great value. But again, why do you need a course for that? There's free stuff out on the internet and the use of your own brain. And there's also ChatGPT can like literally tell you the whole blueprint, okay? And the place still has to get clean between each guest, so you would be in charge of booking those things, managing quality control from out of state or even in your own state, but 1 to 2 hours away because you can't always get to the location. I just find the advertisement disingenuous. If they are offering a program that analyzes the market, great. If they are offering to teach you how to negotiate with the landlord, great. If they are offering a way to streamline and automate a good, workable system and or software, great. Connecting you to reputable cleaning management companies, great. But then charge a price accordingly, and especially don't drag things out for months. Again, that dragging out for months aspect is a big red flag. Time is money. People don't have time for something that take months. This is total and utter shit. If you can't get the information to a client in less than a month, then it's a money grab looking to constantly upsell you stuff with breadcrumbs until you are either fed up or you run out of money. Think hard about it. And don't say you don't need to furnish the place because it does need to be furnished. What the fuck? Who is going to stay at a place that isn't furnished? And don't say you don't have to be there because somebody has to be there. Because if a housekeeper can't get there to turn over the place or let people in, guess what? You have to go and do it. So you need a reputable management company who has a lot of staff and who does good work. Don't think you can skimp on that. If you're paying a management company to do all of that, they will bet 3% to 5% of profits. Maybe higher if you're in LA or Manhattan, where it's a lot more expensive for cleaning services. Part of your negotiations with the landlord might be that you will pay to furnish the place because you're not going to turn down a willing landlord and favorable short-term leasing laws area listing because their place isn't furnished. And also, you might want to negotiate if you keep the furniture or they keep the furniture at the end of the deal. You might negotiate that you will buy the pots, the pans, linens, toiletries, etc. for the guests if any of that stuff isn't already there. You might negotiate they buy the furniture from you at the end for an X amount below what you paid if the landlord wants to take over your half later. You might get too busy to manage it. Landlord might get free time and want to manage it themselves. The landlord or you might put a time frame on the deal to get an agreement from them. A guest is not going to book a place if you have no toilet paper and a hairdryer for the girlies, and your listing will go down the drain in 5 minutes if there is a bad review about it. So you might need that $6,000 for all of that. Or use your $6,000 for emergency funds on the property and put it in a high yield account until you need to tap into it. And if none of it works out, you still have your $6,000. I think the only real value would be if 10 Times offers market analysis, local laws already compiled, so you don't have to do additional research or make additional calls, and they give you lists of reputable management companies or even a list of willing landlords all in one place. And only then, to me, that would be worth a couple $100 flat. By the way, Airbnb has a co-hosting and split payment out options on their website. Always start in an area you live in or you have access to and you are already familiar with the local market. Compile some information on your own first and start with the local laws and search Airbnb for current market pricing for what your area commands, and check out other host calendars to see how booked their places are throughout the year. Yes, each month. Compile lists and costs of reputable managing or cleaning service companies in the area. And finally, just go out there and fucking do it. Don't pay for confidence you already have. Sorry if TLTR, but my fee is $0. Okay, so that was a good explanation and good advice for those who are, looking to get into the 10 Times Airbnb. But I've read all the reviews and I've read the comments, And yeah, I don't think this is a very good company. So if you're thinking about joining, you might need to think about doing something else or just putting your money in a savings account and just live. Okay? Now, let's end this. But I hope you got a lot of information from it. And I hope I did my job for you. So the final verdict, is it worth it, Teresa? If you have at least $10,000 in the bank and you are willing to treat this like a high stakes corporate job, 10 times BNB provides a solid roadmap for you. Sean and Ari, they know their stuff, and the model, it works if you do the work. But if you're down to your last $500 and you're looking for a get rich scheme to get you out of bed, run away from it real quick. This is a capital heavy business, okay? You have to have those coins to start. Now, for my beginners, I always say start with something with lower risk, like Wealthy Affiliate. The Wealthy Affiliate model, we talk about where your only cost is your time and a domain name, and that's it. Build your bankroll there first, and then look at something like 10 times BNB when you're ready to scale big. 10 times BNB is illegitimate education, but it's not for the faint of heart, okay? It's for the bosses who are ready to manage properties and people at the same time. So if you've tried 10 times BNB or any other Airbnb course, tell me your experience in the comments. Did you make a profit, or did you get stuck with the lease you couldn't use? Let's help each other out. And if you want to see my #1 recommended way to make money online from bed with zero inventory and zero property risk, then check the link in the pinned comments section. I'm Teresa. Keep your hustle high and your overhead very low. And I'll see you in the next review. Peace.